everybody, it's Bread on Ted here. Welcome back to another Wholesome Story, number 3. Today, we're going to be teaching a lesson on how trying cannot affect you. If you don't try something, then you just don't try it. Nothing goes up, nothing goes down. But if you do try it and you fail, then you're no worse off than the person who didn't do it in the first place. Let me explain. So, Alexa here wants to build a tower out of Legos, and Edmund here does not. If Alexa builds that tower out of Legos and falls, Alexa is in no worse position than Edmund when he didn't try it, because at the end of the day, technically, none of them have a tower, just, Alexa has Lego bricks all over, which isn't really the point I'm trying to say here. The point is, if you don't try something, you're not in a worse position than when you didn't try it. Let's say Edmund over here wants to plant a tree, or not a tree, but just a plant with leaves, and Alexa does not. If Edmund plants that plant, that little leaf plant, and let's just say it dies, then, Edmund is in no worse position than when Alexa, because at the end of the day, Edmund doesn't have his plant anymore, he does not have a plant, and Alexa never had a plant in the first place, so technically, they're no worse off. Another example would be something like, let me look around real quick. There's not really many other examples I can give, but this goes on to my next thing, which is trying can also affect you, and finding out when trying can affect you can help you. So, let's say you, let's say you have a bag of potato chips. Alexa here has a bag of potato chips. If Alexa eats all of those potato chips and Edmund has a full bag, or if Edmund does not have a bag at all, actually, yeah, this is what I was just saying. I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of confused here. This was not what I meant to say. I'm very, very sorry. This goes on to my third thing. Another example is if Edmund doesn't have any, Alexa eats all of the potato chips. Technically, if none of them had any more potato chips, Alexa has just a slight more advantage because she had some tasty potato chips. Now, as I was saying, sometimes, trying can affect you, and figuring out when it can affect you can help you. So let's just say that, I'm trying to look for examples around here. Let's say, this is really hard to think of because, I'm looking around my room right now, and I'm looking for examples. Okay, let's say you, let's say you drive a train. Okay, this is gonna be kind of crazy, but let's say you drive a train, and all of a sudden, you try to drive, or let's say you drive trains, okay? Let's say you try to drive a train. Let's say Alexa tries to drive a train, and Edmund does not. And let's say if Alexa fails to drive that train properly, it could derail, and in turn, it could, crash. We could just break a bunch of stuff, all the cargo. It could maybe even hurt Alexa. And that's kind of knowing when trying. Just be responsible for, I don't know what I'm doing with that one. Just the point I'm trying to put here is trying is good. Always try. But when you know something's going to be bad, don't try it. I'm not saying you can't, drive a train. You can drive a train. Grow up and drive a train for good old Bread on Ted. But, knowing when to not do something is important, and if you never try, then if you don't try, then, you're no better or worse than the the person who failed when they tried, but sometimes when you fail at trying, it can be bad, and knowing when it is bad is the key to success. This has been Bread on Ted, and Edmund waves you goodbye, and Alexa cannot because she doesn't have arms and is not plugged in. Anyway, that's the end of this wholesome story. Good night.